Hello. I don't know why I did that. I just wanted to be cool and fun and funky and fresh. Today I am going to be doing a creative activity for self-care because I have all these books and they always say to me things like, find a creative outlet, some ideas to get you started. Or, oh, this one says, using our hands in creative ways is a great pathway to calming and quieting our minds. Quieting our minds. So basically what I took from that is I'm gonna do a creative thing and I'm going to figure out whether that's gonna help me feel better about myself. But I have to pick one thing.
A few minutes later.
I've picked sewing. So I'm going to try making these shorts today and see if sewing helps me boost my self-love and helps me care for myself. Yeah. Before we begin though, let's look at the science behind it. So why does being creative help? Why does doing something like sewing or craft or a hobby help with mental health? From what I gathered, there's a few reasons. I'm looking up sewing in particular today, but I'm sure it relates to a lot of other crafts. One of the first things is that it helps you focus on something, on like the present moment, rather than having your brain going all different directions, which happens a lot to people, especially in the age of social media. We're always on our phones or our laptops or our emails or TikTok or wherever we are. And so our like brain can't focus on just like the one thing in the present. It's like constantly working in overtime. So doing a craft like sewing, it narrows that focus down and you are present on that activity. A lot of the research I'm finding about it suggests to do like a specific amount of time rather than like trying to do it like all day and every day, you know? I know for me when I sew, sometimes I find myself, I get caught up in it and then I can't stop until I complete the project, which conveniently is actually another reason why people say doing these creative projects like sewing can actually help with mental health, because you get a sense of accomplishment and that boosts your self-esteem. So that's number two, I guess. Number three would be the fact that it's like a hand-eye coordinational thing. People say that doing things with your hands is really good for your like cognitive brain stuff. Look, I'm not a scientist, but I read it up and it's like good for cognitive brain, working hands, working mind at the same time. And that's a muscle that we need to like exercise the older we get. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna play this out. I'm going to do some craft and try making a pair of shorts, and we're gonna see how I go with it. I'm hoping by engaging in this activity for like a couple of hours at least, it's going to help me quiet my mind. I want to be able to enjoy it and really get the benefits that apparently science and all these lovely self-care books say that I'm gonna get. So, in saying that, let's make some shorts.
So the first thing you want to do here is cut out your pattern pieces and make sure you read your pattern as well. I pre-cut all my pattern pieces so you wouldn't have to watch me do all that boring stuff, but you know, it's part of the process. Some important things to note here is that I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why I'm reading over the pattern like a million times. And also my sewing machine is currently out of order. It's an old sewing machine. It used to be my granny's. And so it needs a service, it needs some maintenance. It's actually like sitting in the desk that we are under. Like it's one of those desk sewing machines, really old. So for this whole project, I'm going to use the overlocker. So enjoy me making these shorts with that. But yeah, the first step is actually just making the major short pieces, as you can see here. The next thing you want to do is pin your waistband onto your shorts. I had to make sure that a lot of this project was done by hand, so I took my time with the waistband because I knew that I would be hemming that by hand later on. And at this point in time, like my serger, I didn't know how to take the knife off it, so I could only do like sewing and cutting at the same time, which was really unfortunate. But now I know how to take off the knife, so we can do a few more things. But unfortunately, at this point, I actually get a pin stuck in it. So that's me like trying to get the pin out, which we all freaking hate when that happens. But it happens to the best of us, happens to the worst of us. You know, we go through it, we get on moving. So yeah, I just keep doing down that side and I do down the other side. I take out all my pins. The next part of the shorts that's really cute that I wanted to work on was the two front pieces. They're actually two like little skirt pieces and they have pockets, but I knew before I attached the two little skirt pieces that made it into more of like a skirt shape rather than shorts, I had to do all of the hemming first because they attach on, and I, as I said, only had my overlocker, so I had to complete all the hemming before I attached them to the main piece. You can see here I'm hemming it all by hand. Trust me, you'll see a lot of that throughout the process. And like, it's just very lengthy. So if you can, you know, fix your sewing machine before you start one of these creative processes. Now I get to the cute little ribbon ties that go around the front, that tie in the front in this cute little bow, and they were such an absolute nightmare. Now, what I can tell you is right here is where the disaster starts. I actually cut my notches in too deep because I wasn't using a regular sewing machine, and so I hadn't accounted for that regular seam allowance that the sewing machine has, and it actually covers where like the little notches are, so that when you put it in all together you don't even notice the notches because they're so far in, right? But because my sewing machine like just cuts off the edge, I just didn't even think about that seam allowance. I just was like, okay, let's just press it all together and like whip up the sides, not realizing that that was going to change the absolute trajectory of my entire afternoon. So I start sewing them all together, and it wasn't long until the sun started to set because I realized something here has fucked up. And I'm like, what the fuck? How do I fix this? I don't know how. It's confusing. I just sew willy-nilly. I'm like just so obsessed with completing it at this point that I just keep sewing and sewing, and it just keeps making it worse. I keep looking over the pattern thinking like, what did I do wrong? But ultimately I should have stopped earlier so I could think straight. But yeah, it wasn't great.
One nap later.
Well, it's dark now and I kind of stuffed up. I was feeling really good about myself and really confident about it, and it was going really well, and then something happened and I stuffed it up, and now I feel like shit and I feel really terrible, and I feel like all my hard work's gone to waste, and I have to go to the stupid gym because I want to get fit and healthy, and I'm sad now.
Oh, we're gonna go to the gym.
We're going to the gym.
Let's go pump iron. Oh, it's okay.
Good morning. I'm back for day 2 of Sewing 101 with Gina. That's not what this is. Please, if you need help with sewing, go find another YouTuber. I'm just trying to love myself. Anyway, so basically yesterday happened. I did it for far too long. I really like kind of obsessed over it and ended up making a mistake that didn't ruin the whole thing, but it ruined my brain because I was like, no! So instead of that, I'm gonna just stick myself to a time limit of 2 hours. I have this great little book. It's by Jessica Saunders. It's called Me Time. She puts timings with all the activities she suggests in there. And so for the creative outlet activity, she suggests 2 hours. So I'm gonna stick to 2 hours. I'm gonna just do it for that long and then see what happens. Maybe I'll have a pair of shorts at the end of it. Maybe I won't. And if that's the case, then I guess I'll just do another hour or 2 hours tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna keep doing this until the shorts are done, and also hopefully that gives me a better idea of how it's affecting me inside. Okay, let's get sewing. So after 2 hours, this is what I have to say for myself. There's still a little bit to go, but I'm actually thinking these look really cute. Yeah, I'm pretty happy so far, and I do feel a little bit like better about myself. I also feel good knowing that I have control over when I stop. Whereas yesterday I feel like I didn't, and so to be able to go, oh, I can stop myself, I can stop this activity at any time. I'm just like, wow, growth, you know? Hello and welcome to day 3 of sewing. Yay! Sewing day. And today I had to go to Spotlight and pick up the elastic for the waist. Very exciting. Now everyone's going to be like, that's not the right elastic, but I wanted this elastic. This is the elastic I picked up. Now this is fitted sheet elastic. I know that what I'm making is not a fitted sheet, but when I felt it, I was like, this feels right. Like that feels like what I want my waistband to feel like. Whereas a lot of the other elastics were like what I would call like dense, and they were just like really tight, and I was like, well, nah, not for me. Anyway, while I was there, I also just found wool, and I was like, all I want in life is all this wool. Look at this beautiful colored wool. We've got pink and then rainbow, and then this is like kind of like golden mustard, then another rainbow, and then an aqua-y tealy blue. And I got 2 packets, and I'm gonna make something out of them. Just so you're aware, I can't handle myself in Spotlight. Anyway, we're on day 3, and all I have to do today is the elastic around the waist and then do all the bottom. The bottom is gonna be tricky. Do I feel good about myself? That's one of the main important things. Yes, I do. I feel great. I'm getting more stuff done. I am like writing lists and journaling and doing craft and getting my shit done. And I'm like, how? Is it the sewing? Is it the sewing that's making my brain better? Who knows? But that's what we're all here to find out. Anyway, let's do it. So putting in elastic should be relatively easy in my opinion. You just get your shorts and you get the holes that you made, the like casing, and then you just, you attach the elastic to a safety pin, and then you like nut through, and then you just kind of keep going around with your safety pin while you're feeding it through until you get the whole thing done. I didn't put on a timer because that really helped yesterday, giving myself a timer. Clock. No, not that one. Pretty clock. Remember, I can only do 2 hours. Oh, it's still going. Don't worry. I almost fucked it up. Yeah, that really helped yesterday with my mental health. Like, I didn't obsess over anything because I was like, 2 hours is up, need to go do other things. I think that's maybe also why I feel so productive lately, is because like I'm giving myself time limits for things. I don't know. Does that happen to you? Do you feel like when you give yourself like a plan and like put on a timer or whatever, those things I see on the YouTube all the time, the Pomodoro timers, does that help you? Please comment below. Tell me what helps you when you're like trying to manage your time better, if you have like anxiety or whatever, because that's what happens to me. Ooh, look at me go, one side. It's so cute. Look how cute the fabric is, I love it. I forgot that I was filming. I looked up and I saw myself and I was like, who is that? Who's that person? It's me, I'm Mario. Now, what I'm going to do, just so that I can try it on, is I'm going to overlap these 2 a bit, and then I'm going to safety pin them together where I think will be good, because remember how I like cut a little bit extra, just so that we can sort of even this out and make it like look all good. That would mean he had a heart. So excited! They're nearly done. I gotta do this somehow. Don't know how I'm gonna do that because I think I really fucked it up with the whole overlocker and stuff. But yeah, elastic is good. I'm just gonna sew the elastic together and then get started on hemming.
The next morning.
I'm back for what I think is day 4. I've just finished a shoot on a short film. and I am all cozied up in my lovely dressing gown, and I'm making a cup of tea, and I'm going to hopefully finish these shorts in my 2-hour stint of sewing today, because there's a lot of hemming. I really underestimated how long the hemming would take me because I'm doing it all by hand. So anyway, day 4, I'm gonna hem the shorts and I hope they're gonna be done today. But first, tea, timer, TV, and I'm gonna hem while I watch TV. Just because, like, yes, being in the present moment is very good for it, but also it's just like, I like having noise on in the background. Is that just me, or is that like is it like an anxiety thing? I don't know. Maybe it's not, it's hard to tell. But like, it's like this idea of like having noise going in the background. I don't know, it kind of calms me down in some way. Anyway, here I go.
2 hours later.
Yeah.
I have shorts.
They're very pretty.
I know, but
Look at the bow on the front.
it's the bow, so how it works, babe, is and then you do up the bow and you're like this. And then it looks kind of like a cute little skirt moment. But I think I did these too long. That it's just not...
Why?
Because the shorts are short, but then this is longer.
I thought that's how it was meant to be.
Maybe it's got big pockets.
Big pockets.
Big pockets.
Pockets for things. They look great.
I know, I should wear them.
You're happy with them?
I think I am. I'm a little bit, I don't know if they suit me, and I'm not sure if they're quite a good style, but I made them.
I think they're lovely.
Yay! I did it! I feel good.